Hello, everybody. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets, joined by Lisa Schermerhorn and Honey Golden. The quantum reality that we're in right now. And of course, your book is a bestseller. So tell us a little bit about that, Lisa.
Yeah, so it's a compilation of 36 authors, including Michael Jaco and Honey C. Golden. I just did an event last night for people who ordered it early. I did a quantum healing, and I asked them for feedback on the book, and they're like, every time I open up to a chapter and I get exactly what I need. It's one of those books you could just open up anywhere. And there's something for everyone. And the power of the people who are in this book, we've got Dr. Joe Vitale, we've got Michael Jaco, Honey C. Golden, we've got Tom Althouse, who wrote the Matrix, the movie The Matrix. He's in it. Brad Wozny, Dr. Christiane Northrup, Dr. Carrie Madej. It's just an incredible cast of really powerful, amazing people. So yeah, it's on Amazon. We Are Quantum.
Beautiful. Good job. And
Thank you.
So we're going to be talking about some quantum stories, and I think that's fantastic. Honey, I saw you did a show where you're basically the energy of the 250 anniversary of the United States, about that on the show. So I think the audience would love that information. And of course, both of you have that quantum healing meditation you do once a month. We'll talk about that at the end, towards the end too. So tell us, Lisa, about some of the things you've been encountering.
So I think I shared with you a story about this fellow Julian, who's a Native American, who decided to walk from Dallas, Texas to DC for the 250th. So it took him almost 3 months. He was walking almost 30 miles a day. And he has an incredible story of coming out of drugs and alcohol and turned his life around. He was on a Native American reservation, and all the, how toxic it is there. And he's just like, I want to spread the word of love. And he was very much about Christ and Christ consciousness. So he had a pack that's 80 pounds, and he built a cross that's about 20 pounds. And he walked 30 miles a day. I think you could have recruited him for the Navy SEALs, Michael.
Oh, yeah. I saw that, and I was like, wow. So I walked the Crest Trail, and you do more than 20 miles a day. You're a stud. He's doing 30. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So this is the crazy part. We were in Tennessee speaking at Sasha Stone's event for his New Earth. And Barry, my friend, she was the photographer for the event, and we stopped in a coffee shop, and I see this beautiful Native American man. He's 33, and I turned around to Barry. I'm like, oh my God, did you see that guy? And she turns around and takes a look, and she's like, oh, I didn't notice him. I said, I'll meet you in the car, and just come right out when you get your things, because I had someone else there. I turn around, and Barry's like, get in the car. And here he is getting in the car with us. So
get in the car. Yes, ma'am.
We get in the car.
Took care of it.
So he complimented her on her boots, and all of a sudden I've got this beautiful Native American car. So we get to the event. Ethan Lucas is running it with Sasha Stone on their New Earth property, and he shows up with his cross and his pack, and there's a love fest that happens. He's helping them with the land, and they do a lot with Native American stuff. And he's like, I need to finish my walk. My goal is to get to DC. And he made it, got there July 3rd.
Wow.
And then we became very close with him, and we said, why don't you come to Vermont? Not thinking that he would. And he said, okay. So he and this other woman, Brigitte, show up at my house. Now, Sasha Stone's half-brother lives a half hour from us. And I hadn't seen him in 2 years. They went to an event last night, and guess who they run into? Sasha Stone's brother.
Wow.
I know. So they all took pictures, and they're going to send him. And my power animal is a golden eagle. And he told me, Julian told me that a golden eagle followed him all the way from Texas to Vermont. He saw it in around up above my house yesterday. I have never seen a golden eagle here.
Incredible.
I have so many things to say.
I would love for you to say, please, because it's been amazing.
Well, he feels like he's your soul child.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So your soul was watching over him the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I just got confirmation of that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. No,
And that's what we're doing. We're meeting our soul family right now, our soul tribe.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And then I've got Chris O'Connor staying with me as well. This house is going to blow up from all the energy that's going on here. I got a house full. And we have connected in such a beautiful way. And we were on Cape Cod and we decided to go on the Freedom Trail, which is a walk around Boston. Now, I've lived in the Boston, New England area on and off since the 80s. And I have never done the Freedom Trail. So we're driving in. And for people who don't know, Chris O'Connor was part of the Secret Space program. He's done three runs of the 20 and back. I think he's officially 150 years old. And he sells this Deems device. This is an interdimensional device that he makes. So anyway, we had no traffic. To have no traffic on Cape Cod is insane, especially on the weekend. And we had to leave early to get into Boston for this trail walk. And he asked Guidance, how will today go? And Guidance told him, it's going to go smoothly, except you're going to help spirit someone's soul pass. And I was like, is there going to be an accident? Like, I got scared that someone was going to die. And he said, no, it's not that. I don't know what it is yet. And then I suddenly got a flash of a cemetery, like an old cemetery. I was like, that's interesting. So while we're on the walk, Chris says to me, I was with a friend in Texas a couple weeks ago, and I did a past life regression with him. And this image of someone from like the Revolutionary War with the white wig that's curled. We had this image, and we actually found this guy online. And so he's telling me this story. We get to the cemetery, and I got a message that I'm supposed to walk around the entire cemetery. And the guide goes, we're going to be walking around the cemetery, the whole thing. Wow. And then said we were going to each gravestone, and she's pulling up photos of each of the people who were buried in the graves. She pulls up one of the pictures, and Chris looks at me and goes, that's him. That's the past life from my friend in Texas. I was like, what? He said, yeah. And so he starts texting his friend. He said, you need to call in this guy, call his name. He's here waiting for you. You need to call in your fractal. So he calls in the fractal, and the fractal just goes whoosh to him. And then Chris saw 5 other fractals join him to rejoin. The guy slept for 2 days nonstop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice feeling. Wow.
That's a lot of fractals at once.
I know. So it's been magic. There's more, but I want to give you guys a chance to talk. But I just feel like every time I turn around, there's more and more magic that keeps happening. It's really incredible.
There is.
Yeah, definitely. So we're talking on the chat about spirit animals, because you mentioned spirit animal, the golden eagle. Mine's a black panther. And when I was on the Pacific Crest Trail, I was looking down, because I was like the first one on the trail. I passed everybody, and I was way ahead of everybody on the trail. Started early. So I'm looking down because there's all these rocks, and you got to be careful so you don't twist an ankle, which I did, unfortunately, later. But so I hear this, like that. And I was like, I look up and I see bushes on one side of the trail, because on this side, it was like up a hill, and on the other side it was like downhill. And then I was like, what was that? And I went into spirit realm, and I saw my spirit animal, Black Panther, had spooked a cougar that was waiting for me. And then when I got to the next town, there was like a notice that be careful on the trail because there's a cougar that's been out, it's been sighted. I was like, whoa. So a spirit animal can actually come out in this 3D reality and help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We have more than one too. A lot of times it'll like shift and change.
Oh yeah.
There's a guy in the chat, Truth or Mike. I'm pretty sure my spirit animal is a jackass. You're making me laugh so funny.
You turned bright red. Look at you.
So funny.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. So thank you for that.
That's good. Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we have spirit animals. We have like, what do you call that? The familiar, like the cat that follows you around everywhere, you know?
Oh, wow.
But a lot of people, spirits jump into birds. They jump into animals and they'll watch over you and then they'll leave.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. When you see birds, usually those are pretty big messages. So I love that. But mine is a bird, but I rode in on a lion. So when I came into Earth, I rode in on a lion.
Wow.
And my dad painted a picture of that, which was kind of, a wild picture. But my spirit animal is a snow goose. And I'm like, what does the snow goose do? All I remember is that they run after you and try and bite you.
Well, I can say that I've only gotten love from you, honey. So
yeah. Well, I just remember being a little kid and the geese, that the neighbor had, they were scary. Yeah. So
I used to do these meditations. I would do events in the forest and up in New Jersey, Pine Barrens, and they'd be a week long, and I do meditations and so forth. And one of them was find out what your spirit animal is, and so all these people were like, we did the meditation, and everybody's like gorilla and elephant and all these animals, and this one woman says squirrel, and I was like. And then we started talking, and then everybody was like, well, squirrels, they run the trees and, they get freedom and all. It was like, it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Barry's like,
jackass.
My animal's a wombat. Barry's power animal's a wombat. She was
so funny. So funny. Donkeys are probably one of the most hilarious animals.
Yes,
ever.
They are.
They're so smart.
They're actually badass.
Yeah. Literally. There's a video of a woman. They're at a zoo. Have you seen that? Where they're looking out and they see, I forget what animal, and then this donkey comes in and starts smiling at them with the teeth.
Yeah, taking over the whole shot of whatever they were taking a picture of. Yeah.
We used to train in Navy SEALs. We have this camp out in Island, California. It's a desert, and we trained out there for weeks. And we'd have to be careful because when Patton's Army trained out there, they still had donkeys back then for pack animals and so forth.
Wow.
And even though they're running around in tanks, but they still had the horses and the donkeys and pack animals. So some of them escaped, and so they're running wild out there. You rarely ever see them. But at night we could hear them, and they'd like give us warnings, like don't get closer. And we're like, whoa. You could tell that they like because they're big. We weigh 100, 200 pounds. They're like 5, 6, 7, 8,000 pounds. Big animals. So you don't mess around with them.
Wow.
So funny.
I know. I love this conversation.
Tell us about the 250th.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't remember all the things I talked about, but I talked about the resets, and we talked about the Bible a lot. Ethan's very into the Bible and like decoding the Bible. So that was interesting because I have never paid much attention to the Bible. So, that was basically what we talked about. There was astrology. I know Lisa was on there later. That was a nice long, 4th of July show.
Yeah.
What was kind of interesting to me, which is kind of a side note, is some of the things that have come out of the 4th of July and right before the 4th of July. And one of them was Trump saying quantum, quantum, quantum.
Yes.
Really?
And I thought that was quite funny. And I'm like, okay, he's introducing that we are going quantum.
Yes.
And it's amazing that it's happening. And you can see that it's happening in a lot of different ways. You can see it in the financial system. You can see it in AI. And I actually had an astral experience probably 3-4 days ago. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, okay, I got to remember what I just did. And I was watching these 3 extremely like tall pyramids, and they were white and they had little patterns of black on them. And they were moving around on what I would call a cribbage board type surface and creating a pattern. And they're creating the new AI. So that's happening right now. There's just a lot of cool stuff going on.
So when I was at Sasha Stone's event with Ethan, they call it Tanasi. They had a bunch of speakers, and one of them was General Baker, who is above top secret. And I had a chance to sit with them at dinner, and I was so angry because everyone kept interrupting because they could overhear a conversation, and they were like halfway through a sentence and people are like interjecting. I'm like, let him finish what he's saying. But anyway, what I did get to talk to him about was I asked him about the quantum financial system. We're talking about the reset of the monetary, and I said, people who've invested in Dong and the Zim and all of those. And he said, absolutely, that's going to happen. He's like that. So, and it was really nice to hear it from someone like that. So I was really excited because you never know what's really true.
Yeah, well,
no, but you know what? You just hear stories and then they give you dates and nothing happens. So it just gets really frustrating. Because you're waiting and you're like, is this really true or is it not true? But he confirmed with me a lot of that. So that was really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's really exciting. It's nice to have confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just saw someone wrote Juan is on like showing his face now.
Yeah.
But he's not the Juan that I've met before.
Yeah.
He looks very different. And I don't know if you have anything. What?
We are in a play.
I know, but the one I sat with for an hour in Las Vegas at Louis Herm's event had bright blue eyes. Yeah. Looked very different. So I don't know, he's multiple people, but this guy doesn't look like the one that I've met twice.
Yeah, there's a lot of entertainers out there, like Connie was talking. Enjoy the show, popcorn, all that stuff. So you just know there's different people fulfilling different roles, different times. So he's a guy that has to wear a disguise oftentimes and have people fill in for him, Juan or whoever else is out there doing stuff. But there is that going on. I was part of that as well when I was in the CIA. So even in the SEAL teams, we do that as well. So it's, that's behind the scenes stuff, that's cool. You reckon, people aren't see this kind of stuff. Now, what I was about to ask you guys, especially Honey, is we have the same planetary alignments, and I think there's planets that are like going retrograde, and the same setup for the Civil War, the same setup for World War II, planetary alignments. They only happen so often. We're in that same planetary alignment where there is conflict. What do you see about that?
Well, I think we're in the last reset right now. So we're in the final reset, and it's the reset for the better.
Yeah.
It's the reset when the 3D, systems all go, and we learn how to be in cooperation with each other instead of conflict with each other. That doesn't mean it's going to look perfectly beautiful as it happens. Just like when you clean your house, it looks like a bomb went off inside the house. If you're getting ready to move or something and you have boxes everywhere, it's going to be like that. Like it really will be looking a bit like chaos. And that's how the universe shifts everything. So that's what I see. And honestly, I don't believe that the Civil War happened the way that they say.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of those wars were created later.
Right.
Oh, let's say it went like this.
Or
Napoleon did this. Or
the Revolutionary War, because there was information coming in, and this was fascinating to me, that someone said that it wasn't a tea party, it was about opium.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why
doesn't that make sense?
Because you're not on the same wavelength as all the people that form these lies. The victor writes history, whoever that is.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't even know, and I agree with you. A lot of these wars, because I've done the research and I've been part of them sometimes, and they're not written the way things happen.
Because here's something that doesn't make sense. You have a brand new colony. You've got farmers and people barely able to exist. What are they trading? Honestly, like what were they bringing back? Like what were they actually trading? And what was interesting, they said that when Chris and I were on the Freedom Trail, they were talking about John Hancock being one of the wealthiest people in the Americas at that time, and he signed he put his name to it. But there were all these mini wars going on, jockeying for position, and it just made so much sense that if they were all involved in some kind of opium trade, because why would the French and the Indians and the English want whatever was going on there? So that totally made sense. It just changed everything. And the people who were buried in that cemetery were members of some kind of secret society, all of them, and they were Masons. So who knows what, some Sons of Liberty, I think it was called. And they had it was a skull and crossbones on all of their, on all of the tombstones.
Wow.
I was like, what? As I was walking around, I'm like, why is there a skull with crossbones on every single tombstone? They were all, and I was like, something's not right here. So, honey, I don't know if you're picking up on anything around that.
Well, I get it. We were in Tartaria at that point. So it was all Tartaria until like 1797, pretty much. And that's when they started their reset. That's when I get the liquefaction event happened. So what they're doing is they're talking about Tartarian people, and they were very wealthy, and the Moors were part of that too. So people that had dark skin were actually just, there was nobody cared what color you were at that time. They didn't care whether you were a giant or a human. They didn't care whether, you were a midget. It didn't matter. Like nobody cared about that stuff. But there was still the secret society. And you can see in some of the Tartarian pictures that they still had the hidden hand. So some of those guys, especially the giant, people, the people that were like 8 and 9 feet tall, they were still doing the hidden hand thing. And that was who partnered up with the ETs, the negative ETs, to create that event. the
Wow.
liquefaction event.
Yeah. And you used to see the hidden hand, like you talk about, Napoleon, he had his hand there, hidden hand. And you see a lot of the Union and Confederate soldiers, like we're talking about. It was not as we know it. And I've had guests on there talked about this. They were taking pictures back then, and they'd have their hands in there, or they would have that thing open, and there wouldn't be a hand in there. So what does that mean? It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there was positive and negative working in the whole, at that time. And what I got is that in that moment of 1760, what's the year?
Or 86? Did you just say that?
No, 97 is when the liquefaction event
97,
happened,
okay.
but 1776 is when we won. So we won in that moment, the negative war, right? So, but it didn't last. And we've been doing this back and forth for so long. And that reset, the liquefaction event, they went so far with the way that they treated humanity after that. Like, it was unbelievable what they did to humanity.
Well, one of the things that I've been talking to people about are the sanitariums that were in like every town, those giant mental hospitals. And one of the things we're talking about, that it made sense that anyone who remembered Tartaria was most likely put in those sanitariums until they either forgot or their children, they passed away and people were let out. Because those things were huge. They're massive.
Yeah. And those were they were created for something much better than that. They were old Tartarian buildings. And I think that a lot of times they were schools or colleges, or they could have been hospitals, actual hospitals in the past. And they just turned them into something really dark. But what I'm grateful for is that we are coming out of that at this point.
Yeah.
And you can see all the different signs of it. And it's kind of amazing when I hear somebody say, but nothing's happening. And I'm like, where are you looking?
Yeah.
So there's so much happening. And there's so much happening inside of ourselves too. I did a show with somebody just yesterday, and they saw the way that creation started, the mathematical parts of it in the astral plane. So they were shown that while they were asleep and woke up and retained it. And we had a show about that. And it was just really
That's insane, because that must be in the astral, because Chris had the same thing.
Yeah.
I talked to him yesterday. He said, I don't know what to do with this download. He said, it just came in. I just saw the origins of the universe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So this is we're talking about past lives. This is one of my past lives, Louis Armstrong.
Oh, wow.
You see how it's open right here?
Yeah.
He took his hand out because it was no longer part of their system. Of course, he was killed at Gettysburg. Later, he had wounds at Gettysburg, but they weren't life-threatening. Even doctors said he has non-life-threatening wounds, and they put him in a cottage by himself because he was a general. And my memories are they came in and injected me with malaria, and I died.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's evidence later were freed. They were following the Union Army, and they didn't want to feed them. So they injected them with malaria. So the bioweapon stuff was happening. And there's
Wow.
this doctor came upon, it was just outside of New Orleans. He came upon hundreds and hundreds of former slaves that were dying. So a lot of them dead. And they discovered it was from malaria, that they had injected with malaria.
Wow.
Yeah. And all you have to do too is look at the outfit that they're wearing. Look at their clothing. That's not, you don't have any capacity to make clothing. I mean, they're not wearing gunny sacks when they're running around in the Civil War, which You know, if you really don't have a lot of capacity to create clothing like that, which is, I mean, it's fancier than what we wear now.
Yeah.
So they were very fancy. And that's where the whole steampunk thing comes from too, because they were doing all kinds of different technology that was 3D technology, but much more advanced than the technology that we have now. So it's, you know, people are kind of cluing in. Their common sense is kicking in, and they're seeing it.
There was later on, as aware that I am in the space program. I know that I'm in time.
Your internet's
we can't hear you. Your internet was glitchy. We missed the whole thing. What you were saying.
Okay.
His internet always goes when we're on here.
I know.
Yeah, so if you look at like those animatrons, I think they call them, and they had those beautiful desks with all those hidden compartments. And I mean, all that furniture is so much more advanced. It makes me kind of shocked that we even believe that it was primitive then.
Yeah. Oh, someone just wrote, I noticed the quantum book doubled in price. We did a special price for $888, and then if people bought it early. So I just want to let people know. And then because that was actually at cost. So and now the book's going up to 440 pages. Because we had to improve the font, because I can't read my own book. So sorry, go ahead, Michael.
That's funny. So and it's frustrating for us authors because they take advantage of us, especially in Amazon, these book places. I lost I wouldn't say millions, but tens of thousands of dollars when this one company that I started the Intuitive Warrior with, they went bankrupt so that they could steal all of our money. That was in Austin, Texas. So very, very, crazy place. But anyway, what I was about to say about the South actually won the Civil War initially.
Really?
And there was a timeline war. I was involved in timeline wars, and I got to see, because that was one of my lifetimes. I got to see that they came in and they stopped us because we basically routed the army at Gettysburg, the Union Army. And so they came in and basically stopped all that, and they knew exactly where we were going to come to rout them, and they set up for it. So that was a timeline war that basically stopped the South from stopping the killing of everybody. So it went on for another couple of years.
Mm.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's all a lie. Like, there's so much of it that's a lie. It's
Absolutely
amazing. Yeah. Have you guys seen the guy that was allowed, all of a sudden, somebody's been allowed into the Grand Canyon to go exploring?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's basically finding what I call the first Egypt.
Yeah.
And there's all these melted buildings that have been maybe under the ocean for a while. All these just, destructed, amazing buildings that look very Romanesque down there. Yeah.
So Egyptian too, right? The Egyptians were in.
Yeah, it was the first Egypt, is what I call it, which was in the United States. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, the Smithsonian has everything. They've taken, they hide everything. All the artifacts that they found, it's all in the Smithsonian.
Yep.
Underground, yeah, hidden away, like the Vatican.
Exactly.
We have our own Vatican, it's the Smithsonian. Yeah.
Except I remember, I don't know if it was a year ago, that Trump signed an executive order that all that information from the Smithsonian is supposed to be released. So
That's right.
Who knows if that's gonna, when that's going to happen.
Yeah. So now this is great because this leads into another question I have for you, both of you. So Maria Zach, she's going to be on my show at some point. I'm not going to say when, because as you saw, they dance with my my internet. Yesterday I was doing a show and they cut the power off in my city while I was doing a show.
Wow.
And I think that's why, because I was revealing some stuff. So anyway, because I've been able to jump around on my internet like I just did, and this one was one they just definitely did not want to come out. So I got to be really careful these days because we're reaching a point where we could see some very serious negative responses from the deep state. And one of those, according to Maria Zach, is that they have, and I've known this for a long time, and others have known this, and we talked about it. We've talked about multiple cities in the United States being destroyed. And at one time I was like, well, what or is there going to be like a civil war because, you know, the liberals and the conservatives are going to fight? And I never saw that. But I have seen these cities destroyed to the point where everything's destroyed. I mean, the buildings, everything. And so Maria Zach is saying that the deep state has nukes, and they threatened to use the nukes on half of America if Trump discloses the election fraud and starts arresting people. What do you guys think?
That feels like a 3D timeline to me.
Yeah.
Good.
It doesn't feel like we're going to see any of that unless you're part of the group that's splitting off. And even if you are, I don't know if that's going to really happen in that kind of way anyway. But it was definitely a negative timeline that was there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's still there. And the good ETs got rid of the nukes a long time ago.
Yeah.
So they nullified all the nukes
Yeah.
because it affects them too. That's the thing we don't really think about because we can't see everybody. Like you can have an extraterrestrial or an interdimensional standing right next to you and you couldn't see them, but they definitely get affected by the things that we're doing.
Yes.
So they can interfere when it affects them. And they definitely interfered.
I just had a conversation with Chris O'Connor about that, and he said that they will not allow nukes here. He said because there was free will, they couldn't stop Nagasaki and Hiroshima. But what they did is because he said nuclear power shatters the souls. It turns them into fractals. And he said, and they can't allow that anymore. So what they were able to do was the extraterrestrials came in, they knew who was going to die from it. They went in and they gathered up all the souls and they took them out before the bombs went off.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he said they go around. So the whole thing about not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons is a cover for something else.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Wow.
But we have to remember there's a lot of different timelines and a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that they're still seeing something that maybe isn't going to happen anymore, or they're part of, the group that's leaving. I don't know how you guys felt yesterday, but it was so, yeah. Did you feel yucky too, Michael?
Yeah. So there's people in the chat saying, better be careful, Mike, to hit what you do. I was like, I've been hit with do so many times.
Yeah. Well, this was an energy wave.
When I get hit, I got hit yesterday.
Yeah, we had an energy wave.
Wife, I'm trying not to alarm my wife, but she came up, she saw me. I was dealing with it and my eyes closed. She's like, "Oh, you're sleeping." I was like, "Yeah." Dealing with some stuff here, but they cut off my they bounce around my internet. They shut down the power yesterday. It was like, yeah, it was crazy. Yesterday was full on.
Yeah. So yesterday we had a huge energetic wave go through, and that's part of the split. So there's going to be a lot of people exiting over the next couple of weeks. And it was instigated, yesterday. And I was horribly nauseous and really kind of like fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I had to get myself together because I had another show. I was like, oh my God, I feel horrible. And then Lisa said she felt bad too.
I felt like I was walking underwater. And I had to hold space to do that healing last night for 100 people. And I was like, there's no way. Like I was really nervous. And here's the other thing that's quantum. So when Chris and I were in Boston, we met up with these people who have something called a serenosphere. And it's I forget what the technology is, but anyway, it goes around the world. It's about calming our own nervous system, but it's also healing the earth. And it travels the circumference of the earth 3 times every 3 days. And they're trying to get these serenospheres out. So I met these 2 women who wanted us to come to their wellness center in Newton. And so we did, and we hung out, and we met them. And then yesterday I get a call from one of them. Are you okay? I said, what do you mean? She's like, I'm picking up on something. She said, you and Chris are getting hit with something really big. And of course, Chris is fine. I'm like, he's fine, but I can't move right now. I can't open my eyes and I can't think straight. She did a whole clearing on me and then had me go outside, but she picked it up telepathically.
Yeah.
And she called me and she's like, I knew I had to call you and take care of you. I was like, what a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. And then you were able to take care of all those other people.
Yeah, then exactly. I was able to take care of 100 people last night because there was no way. I was nervous because how do you protect yourself and do that work when you're in that kind of energy? So yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, I just go deep within, and I get very calm. If I can, sometimes I have to ground myself. But yesterday I was able to just go into that calm state and just work through it. But a lot of times I will crawl to the bathroom because that's where the pipes go into the ground.
Yeah.
And I sit on the toilet, not do anything, but sit on the toilet. Some people, I've talked to Dr. Artis. He says he goes into the bathroom and turns on the faucet, and that helps him. My son, who used to get hit, he would go in the shower. So there's, those are some of the things that, because people in the chat are talking about getting hit. So those are, and they're describing the same symptoms, being nauseous, head dizzy, your head feels like it's going to blow up. And and your heart races. So all those things.
Yeah, I have a friend who contacted me yesterday. She was having tachycardia. She was really, really sick. And I said, you might want to look into heartbreak, that you're healing that right now. That's clearing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're having physical issues, you might want to look at what the emotional component is of that. And if you don't know, you can go on ChatGPT, any of the AIs, talk about your symptoms and ask for what the emotional, spiritual component of that is, and then check in. It might be conscious, it might be unconscious, but there's ways to clear that. Actually, that's what Honey and I do, help people do in the quantum healing. So it's really important because all of our stuff is coming up. Because I felt the heaviness in my heart, and I'm like, oh, I'm clearing some more grief.
And I've missed a couple of your, meditations that helps ground me.
Yeah,
that carries me through. So yeah, I highly recommend to everybody, especially you guys in the chat are having issues like we're talking about. It's like, God, it's like you can't beat the price. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah. So it's a subscription. It's $44, and it's next Thursday.
Yeah.
This is at the 16th.
I think that is the 16th.
12 o'clock Eastern and 4 o'clock Eastern. So you can go to one or both. You're welcome to do both. It's still the same price. You get the link for the day. And we have a library with lots of recordings, and you can go back and visit and watch those healings over again. We've had some really amazing results. People are really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And they're choosing what they want to heal.
Yeah.
Which is really important. Yeah.
And a group healing is super powerful, guys. You can't you can't do it on your own on that level. So that's why you want to do a group meditation with people that are very highly tapped in, So and the people that come in, I don't feel any problems with any of those people that come in too. So baddies must not be allowed somehow.
Honey will wrap them up in a bubble.
I bubble everybody. Yeah.
everybody too.
I
Good.
put everybody in a bubble before we start, and it's like I think of it as bubble wrap, and
Yeah.
I just roll it out, and everybody's in their own little bubble. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. It's interesting because right now is with this new frequency and where we're going, like I'm finding my telepathy and my psychic ability is going through the roof. It's blowing me away. And in the healing that I did last night, I watched everyone's hearts pop open. Like huge. It was like pop, 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 pop. It was like, it literally sounded like popcorn. And my friend Liz was checking in on me today because she knew I was out of sorts yesterday too. And she's like, your color of your energy changed. I was like, what? She said, yeah, you had a completely different color yesterday. She said, it's emerald green today, which is the heart chakra.
Yeah.
So that was really beautiful confirmation.
Lovely.
Love that.
And what do you think happened yesterday? The all the demons and witches and warlocks get together and just like, let's just fry everybody that's on the good side.
No, it wasn't from them. So imagine you out, like if you've ever chopped wood before, imagine this is your wood that you're chopping. So basically what we're having happen is part of this is splitting off, and that's part of the population is splitting off and going home. So they're ascending without their body right now. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see more of that because a big portion broke off. And we felt it break off. And it was instigated by the universe because we all live in the same body, the body of Source. And Source is like, okay, let's get it done. Let's ascend. And whoever's ascending in their body is staying. And a lot of people are leaving. So that's what started yesterday in a much bigger way.
Yeah.
And think of it like you throw a rock into a pond and it ripples out. So that rock caused all of that nausea because the ripples came out and hit everybody.
Yeah. The other thing that's really amazing right now is, I don't know if you've seen Dr. Stephen Greer with his announcement. He did a 2-hour press conference. Well, it wasn't a press conference. I don't know who was there, but it was all whistleblowers. One by one got up and talked about the black ops, the above top secret, all of these, people showing up with, dressed in black, and, these were military people. Suddenly these other, extraterrestrial, and they talked about, here's a ship that's actually been made by our own people. These are not extraterrestrial, but they were repurposed from, but yeah, they're no holds barred. And having Chris at my house, I had a bunch of people. I had 2 people who were not really awake. And we ended up over the weekend getting into conversation where he went no holds barred about the secret space program. And I'm watching 2 people, actually 3 people, were not awake. And I was like, of all the things, they believe him. Like, this opened them up. I'm like, oh, it took aliens to wake them up? I was cracking up. They were like, yeah, I believe you. And he's talking about being on this spaceship outside of Saturn, and, there's 20 and back, and all the aliens, and how he died and had to have his consciousness move from body to body. And they're all like, yeah, this is so cool. And one of them's like, I need to go to bed now. But they're all cracking open. And I was like, the vaccine didn't do it. The government, all of this other stuff. And I'm watching these people wake up like that through the aliens. I'm like, this is amazing.
It's time. So they basically, that was probably arranged in the astral that they show up that day and be there in order to wake up. And think about all the energy. You have all those big souls in one concentrated spot, and they can't do anything but probably wake up.
Yeah. But I was blown away. I was waiting for my cousin to leave. He didn't. And then I was waiting for my college roommate to like make some snarky comment. She's like, no, this is fascinating. I'm like, I was like, I couldn't believe.
Wow.
They had 10 people at the house and people are talking about their ET experiences and all this. And Chris had the room mesmerized. It was quiet. And I was like, I wish I had recorded this because it was unbelievable to watch these people actually listen and hear what they had to say. And yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I went to an event, New Year's party. Sue Wong, she's like a top stylist for the wealthy. She invited me and Sasha Stone to speak at her New Year's event, and all of the top people in Hollywood were there. So we're speaking, and they came up to me later and was like, "We want to learn how to shoot. We want you and Scott McKay to come and teach us how to use guns." Yeah. In my head, I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome," but I'm like, not going to happen yet. But,
Yeah.
So we woke them up, and they're like, okay, we're ready to turn against this evil. It's like, oh,
Was
wow.
that when, what was her name who passed away or she got sick?
Kirsten W. Yeah.
Kirsten W. Yep. I remember that. I remember when you went to that.
Well, she got sick.
Yeah, sick. We don't know where she is now, but.
Yeah. So, yeah, she was trying to disclose a lot of stuff, and then I guess it was time for her to get pulled or something. So
Yeah.
Crazy times.
Oh yeah, someone just wrote CERN because any thoughts on that, honey, or Michael?
Yeah, I mean, it's off, which is great. I think they also turned off a lot of frequency stuff at the same time, because when I would look around, you can all the what are they called? Where the guys would meet. My brain is just like gone now. All of the Masons would meet in the Masonic halls. Okay, so in those halls, they had lots of frequency machines, and I would get that they would be in the basement.
Yep.
So that would affect every little town that they had a Masonic hall in, and I think they pretty much got shut down when CERN went down. Now, I think the White House have had CERN for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And it's not the only collider.
No, I found out that MIT is actually one giant collider.
Yeah. So I don't think any of them are doing much right now. And all those frequency machines got shut off. So, I mean, you can shut them off remotely, but you'd have to go to every town in your brain and shut them down. And it's just too much. So, yeah.
That makes so much sense because there is literally a lodge in every town.
Yeah.
Like every town. I mean, Vermont only has 600,000 people in it, and there's towns with just like a couple hundred people. You drive through and there's like 5 homes, but there's a Masonic lodge in every single one. And I was like, are there really that many? That totally makes sense, honey, that they would have. And someone said that there was something controlling New York that got shut off too. There was another grid over in New York.
Yeah.
That was keeping people contained there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty significant one too. So there's lots of different ones, and they're being shut down. The dumb wars are, taking a lot of them out. Of course, there's good underground cities inhabited by incredibly advanced races and humanoids and so forth. Because at this point, we've been so genetically altered. We're not even anything like what we first came in here on Earth as. So, reptilians really came at us, other races, but we still have the good side. And I think that's part of what we're talking about is those aspects of ourselves are being, moved out. That DNA part of us is being shut down and isolated, and we're going to, advance to a different level.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the other thing is we have a 4th of July parade every year. It's a tiny town, and we get about 10,000 people, and Bernie Sanders is always at the head of the parade. I have pictures of him walking by waving. I literally watched all these people. It's a beautiful day. It has never rained on 4th of July. It's always beautiful. I've gone to these parades forever. It's never rained. As soon as the parade started, torrential downpour. We were standing there. My sneakers were soaked. I was completely drenched. It was so much fun. As soon as the parade was over, the sun came out.
Wow.
I'm like, what? It literally rained for an entire hour and then it stopped. New York City just got hit with massive storms because my friend was trying to fly out of there.
Yeah.
Major flood. So there's a big cleansing happening.
Yeah. So I have a friend that's in Boston, or was in Boston, and she said the same thing. It rained torrentially for an hour during a certain events and so forth. And of course, we're talking about, the Revolutionary War. Boston was like the center of all that.
Yeah.
All the stuff, Bunker Hill and, the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Well, the Bunker Hill Monument is a giant, looks like the Washington Monument. It's enormous. So, and then they built a bridge that has those same, what are they called? I always forget. That actual building. The
Space Needle?
No. The Washington Monument.
Obelisk?
Obelisk, thank you.
Okay.
I don't know why I have a brain
forget
for
that too. I don't know why that just blanks out of my mind.
Yeah. So they even built a bridge that mimics, because it goes near that. So there's all these obelisks on the bridge. So they're everywhere. Bennington, Kevin Boyd was talking about. Yeah, these massive obelisks everywhere.
Yep. Amazing.
Yeah, in the parade, this was so funny. They do these ornate floats. They mimic they did the Washington Monument, and then they had to go under the wires, so they had half of it go into itself and then go back up again. And then they did the reflecting pond, and they took the blue water, and then they had a giant sheet that was green, the green algae. And they were pulling it over back and forth. And then they had a giant float with Lincoln and inside the Lincoln Memorial going down the road. It was hysterical. But yeah, we all got soaked and hopefully cleansed.
Wow. Yeah. There's this one woman that does a lot of disclosure, and she talked about, early on where they're doing the ballroom, next to the White House. And she says, yeah, that's an underground facility. And she mapped it all out, all the different organizations that were involved in building it. It's going to be an underground bunker, and so finally they had to come out and admit it. Yeah. So she just recently said that the reason why they cleaned up the pond,
the reflecting pool,
was because it's a cooling tower type thing for a lot of underground facilities that need it. And I was like, wow. So I guess they're shifting their heat or whatever through that, and it cools off all this stuff. Crazy stuff out there.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
But
it's exciting right now.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I love what you were saying, honey, about the the timelines, because I think that's very important that everybody understands. You might see certain things or feel certain things, but that's not necessarily how things are going to happen. We, the people that are evolved, are going to decide. It's not these other groups, not the white hats, not the black hats, not the gray hats. It's we, the people, are going to determine how that works out.
Yeah, it's really important to keep your focus positive and not get pulled into a lower timeline, because it's all about your frequency. So for me, the minute I start hearing someone talk about doom and gloom, I'm like, done. I won't watch it. I don't want it in my field. I don't want it, because I'm seeing some incredible things happening, and magic, literally magic happening. And it's all about raising your frequency and being able to tap in, because when you do, you're going to start manifesting like crazy.
Yeah. So true.
So someone was just talking about how conspiracy theories used to take like 3 months for them to resolve. Like, okay, that's not a long conspiracy theory. Now it's like a week.
Yeah.
So it being, we're really working hard to disclose and uncover stuff. And I think that's fantastic. So many people are doing that now.
Yep.
Yep. People that you would never expect are doing it on social media. Like maybe they don't say a word, but they have it all written on their, video, and it's amazing. And it's constant. It's everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So the link for the meditation, quantum meditation, you guys got to do it.
Yeah.
It's the 16th, Thursday the 16th. And what were the times again?
12 and 4 Eastern.
12 and
Yes.
4 Eastern. Yep.
Yeah.
That works out great for me because it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yay.
Right.
9. So it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, please join us. It's a really great community, and we also have a group that's on Signal, and Liz Perkins monitors that, and so do Honey and I. And people ask questions, and they get a lot of support throughout. So it's really been an amazing experience being part of it.
Yeah,
it's been beautiful.
And then as a bonus, guys, it's like worth hundreds of dollars, really. If you had Honey like work with you, is people ask questions, personal questions about all kind of crazy stuff, and Honey's like, I'm thinking about this, and then Honey says it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still tapped in.
Yeah, it's fun. It's wild to answer questions like that. I start to get like, whew, I'm tired. Like my brain gets tired after a while.
That's where I was when I worked with clients. I would work with. I would get a lot of money for that, and but it took so much energy from me. It's true.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
Tough to do that work. So yeah, we appreciate you doing that on that day. So that's got to be.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're working with all those people. I'm like, wow. I'd work with like 2 or 3 a day, and I'd be like, I'm toast. It's like crazy.
It's like going to the gym. You have to build up your muscle, and you have to know and protect yourself. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. And then I'm still connected with them. I'm thinking about them. I'm, sending love or energies to them to help them out. And so, yeah, it took a lot. So it's better for me to like focus big picture like we're doing right now. So it works out good. So yeah, lots of love to you guys for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. And I always love these conversations. You never know where they're going to go. And I always learn so much from you guys.
Me too. And I'm like, I was thinking that. I'm glad you guys reaffirmed it. So yeah, now I can focus on something else.
Next question.
I know. Well, the telepathy's starting.
It really is. It's big. Yeah, at this point. There's so many things that you know what the person's going to say next.
Yeah. But it's to the point now where I'm only tapped into a certain frequency. I'm not getting everybody.
No. I was getting the people.
Yeah, the people I'm working with, like you guys. And
there was a group of us. We went to the local brewery, and we were sitting outside. It was a beautiful day, and Chris is sitting next to me, and he said, "That guy over there is depressed. We need to check in on him." I was like, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, guidance is telling me." So I turn and I start conversation. And then once I started talking to him, Chris went over to talk to him too. And something happened where, and I mentioned, like, this is what I do. I said, "Oh, I'm a hypnotherapist." He goes, and I hand my card. And he said, "I'm deeply depressed. I could use your help." And I hand him my card, and he goes, "You're Lisa Schermerhorn? I know Lisa Schermerhorn." I was like,
wow.
That's cool.
He's like, "Oh my God." And it was so funny because it went through Chris to get around. And he's like, "Yeah, I have PTSD and depression, and I could really use your help." And I was like, this is so beautiful. Yeah. So it's like, listen to those.
See, that was one real quick one everybody got to see. That telepathy thing. We said beautiful at the same time. So.
Yeah.
A random word. And I used to do this with guys I work with, the SEALs. God, what a bunch of rockheads. And I would tell them, we have telepathy. When we do patrols, and we used to do hand and arm signals. We don't do it anymore. You guys know what I'm talking about? And they're like, "Yeah, how do you think we do that?" Because we're starting to communicate. And they're like, whatever. And then I heard one of the guys say, think something in his head. And I said, groovy. And it was like something, I mean, groovy. How many times you've said groovy in the last 10 years, you know, whatever. So, but he was thinking about it because there was a song that came on. It was like, you know, 60 song. And he's like, he looked at me and I looked at him and I smiled and he's like, okay, I'll start.
Oh God, so much fun.
Earth is getting more fun.
Yes,
It
it,
really
definitely is.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies.
All right.
Thank
And an honor.
you.
Thank you for your work and great
you.
conversation as always, and look forward to the next one.
Yes. Thank you so
For
much.
having us.
All right.
Lots of love,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Get in, do that meditation. There. Lovely. That was a good one.